Alright, I know. The schedule says I'm not streaming today, but you know what? I really want to play more of this game. Good numbing, and hello YouTube. Hope you're doing well. We're back with day 3, but now the official release day of Silent Hill 2, for those who didn't have access to the early access. I have been having a blast with this game. Sorry yesterday's stream got cut short. I don't know what happened, everything just cut off. And I was just like, oh, okay, cool. Because it had been like a second since we streamed, I went back and like did this corridor and then left it, because I know we went down here and started going through this way. However, before we go this way, like, you know, this section that we're going to do, I discovered a breakable wall here and broke it open, so I would remember to check it when we loaded today. But yeah, I missed this yesterday near the end, that there's a broken wall here, so we're going to go start by going down there. Also, I really need to find some ammo. Baby's struggling. But you can see, I fought all the enemies down here. Oh, I went too far. It's here. I literally, as I was like cleared it out, I checked back and saw like a breakable wall, and I was like, oh, I could just break this open and squeeze through. There was a nurse that was in here as well that chased me out, so I had to fight it. Yeah, let me let that go. I don't know where I'm putting you first. I mean, I think I know where I'm putting you. I think I'm putting you on the other side of that. Let's go break it open first. But you've all been doing well. I hope you're having a fantastic day. This stream today might not be as long. I haven't really like decided yet. We'll figure it out as we go. Just because this is like a bonus little extra stream, and tomorrow's probably going to be a long one with Genshin 5.1 drop in. Genshin 5.1 isn't expanding the map, however, so that one shouldn't take us as long to get through. But it is adding the next 2 chapters of like the main story, which obviously I'm going to want to do that. Yeah, I see where this needs to go. So can I like take any like poke shots, but I don't see anything. Oh god. Missed. Oh, and a fucking mannequin's here, cool. You bitch! Trying to save ammo a little bit more. The knife ones I find are honestly easier to fight, or the nurses, than the pipe ones. The pipe ones just swing so like unruly, whilst they tend to charge in a direction like swinging like a madman. So I find them easier to get around. Though that one. I turned my flashlight off because do you see how the enemy straight up didn't notice us? Director's office key. Even though I was like right on it, that's why you turned the light off. He's there again, looking, staring. He says he'll drag me there. I don't want to. I won't let him take me. Patience note. Oh, right. Yeah, right. I forgot. We're in, like, you know, this effectively a sane asylum. check if there's anything else in here. Oh, director's office down there, okay. No one knows. 2. No, I do not like that sound. Did you hear that? What the fuck is that? That sounds awful. Get me out of that room. That sounded awful. The sound design in this game is perfect. I think the sound design needs like the highest praise because it is accurately fucking evil. Like, it is disgusting at times how it sounds and is. Oh, interesting. It's gonna sound. I bet it's gonna sound a lot worse now. Thank you. How did you miss twice? I thought I was pretty well lined up. Oh, that's shaped like a 3. Hmm. Might have to keep that in mind. What's this say? There'll be no pain anymore. No pain. Okay, I was gonna say, Manic scribble. That wasn't really scribbled, it looked like it was typed. Oh, this is telling us one of the things we need to break the chain. On the chained boxes over here, right? Oh, I don't like this. Where are we? The treatment stretcher. Okay, we need the key. I guess we proceed. So let me just sort something. Something's in here. This is an awkward spot to be in, so I'm actually going to go back. Try and bring that into the open. Oh, you're just one of those guys. Oh, and you fucking fell over, you little schmuck. There's a nurse over there, okay. There's a nurse here too. And you're the annoying one, okay. You're taking bullets. I was aiming at the chest after a while. How did you fucking miss that? Ow, fuck. Miss that much, James. I'm getting beat the shit out of here. Like, the nurses are like or the bat nurses, I'm just gonna call them, are like the only enemies in the game that I really struggle to fight against. All the rest I kind of have a feel for now. It's just the nurses with the pipes. I just seem to get caught all the fucking time. I know it's actually just like skill issue, but I just keep on getting got. Fuck it. Okay, we've turned that on. Is that going to turn any lights on? Or is that just a fool's dream? Oh, there was some rooms we skipped. Okay, let's go back first. Okay, this is where we ran through. And the hydrotherapy room over here we didn't check. Fuck. Never mind. How do you get into that room then? It's locked from both sides by the looks of it. Unless there's a... Maybe you fall in, drop into it then. Because I was going to say, I was looking for maybe like a breakable wall. Because usually, just to be on the map again, the zigzag means it's just non-openable. If it's a line, it means it's unlockable. Like the D2 room over on the left. Where does this take us out? Okay, is this just circle round? Okay, then we're pretty much done here. Let me just double check if there's anything in the rest room before we go. Like this! I won't rest until they are solved. I won't rest, I can't rest, I don't know how anymore. I'll flip the page on the back, it just says, just close your eyes, dipshit. That's how you rest. Lay down. But I think we've done all we can. I found 50 in the ECT room again. This time I checked, he was not appointed for the treatment. How is it possible he got there all by himself? And how would he know how to turn the thing on? Somebody's going to answer for this. So close, it will happen. Has to. $9659. I mean, he probably wrote it down. Yeah. Okay, that's one. That's one of the code boxes sorted then. I keep on going the whole circle to slide down the ladder like it's fucking Hitman. I've been playing a lot of World of Assassination again recently. Let's go put in that first code. So we can mark that off as progress. $9659. Now, which one do we think it's for? Do we think it's for this one? For that one. Yeah, we need a key for that, and we need to actually just find a pin for that. Let's go save. Yeah, you can see all the rest like getting close to midday, and then this one I came back to it like yesterday evening just to kind of clean up the little bit that I needed to clean up. Alright, now let's go do what we was starting to do before the stream died, which is heading down here. Oh, this is just a merry-go-round, okay. Alright, into the den we go. So what kind of den? The monster den. Cool. Oh, it's here. We know there's a nurse over here, so I might try and see if I can clean them out. That's a breakable wall. We'll have to do that in a second. Where the fuck did they go? Did she just waddle away? Oh, I guess we lost her in a straight line. Oh, okay, yeah, this is another thing from the original. I genuinely hope we get a proper master collection. If Konami still don't have, like, access to the original code of 2 or can't replicate the fog, fucking reach out to the fans that made the enhanced edition and ask them to see if they'll be willing to try and make it work for a console port. Because Silent Hill 3 I don't think really needs much, and Silent Hill 1, you can just do what they did with Metal Gear Solid 1. Where it's pretty much just the PS1 game. One year they've been watching me, so many pills they fed me. When a loud hour comes, I tremble every time the light falls. Oh, this is the riddle towards figuring out the thing. So it's 1, then however many pills we can find, what hour it is, and then how many lights are either about to collapse or have collapsed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1. Hang on, let me bring up that note. 1, 6. 2. The lights are 2, because it flicks twice. So we just need the hour. One, 6, something 2. I'm gonna have to fix that, aren't I? One, 6, 7, 2? Let's go try 1, 6, 7, 2. I mean, we have 3 of the 4 numbers, so we could just raw power it, but I think it's 1, 6, 7, 2. That's it. If I got it wrong, I could just raw power it, so that's fine. And now we just need the key. Oh, it wants me to mess with that clock. I hesitated because I think it's going to be trouble. We'll go do it. Actually, I'll save before I do it, in case it is trouble, but... I imagine what it is that when you push it down, it just spins around to 2. But let's go face the music. Oh, never mind, we can't. Yeah, they blocked off the path. I guess because we have the other pieces. Oh, we haven't been in the basement yet. Let's just follow the chain for a second, see how far we can take. Oh, that's the other side of that. The chain goes down. You need to go down the floor. Okay. Oh, I don't think we figured out that surgical chair. Hang on, let me go check that again. Alright, because like, we have to find like an eye to put in it. That's what we were missing? Yeah. Alright, I guess we go down to... the first floor? It's the only other place we can really go to. I saw that. I think this is where we started this section. Absolutely. Okay, yeah, let's just proceed. Glad I looked, though. Because I probably would have missed that wall. There's a lot of fucking breakable walls. What a thrill. How far down did we go? Oh, there's a threat with us. Potatoes, rotten rice, rotten bread, rotten meat, rotten. Patient broke a whole cart of dinner plates. We will name the price Monday. It will be served what they deserve. I know there's a mannequin around here somewhere as well. Fuck you. Every time. Nice, we replaced the shell we lost. Go that way. What's down here? Other than the ladder that we took on the On our right, but on the left side of the map. Restroom, storage, and cafeteria at the bottom. Which version? A new annoying one. That seems to be my consistent strategy with them. Shotguns to the chest and then stamp them in because they will be grounded. So even if it doesn't take them out in one, you can just stomp them to finish. So it's the ones with the knives I don't mind trying to engage to save ammo, but the ones with the pipes I'm just extremely inconsistent with, so it just makes more sense to me to do that. Yeah, I see you. How are we doing on pistol bullets? Oh, there's another one. Hey, buddy. But you know what with how much like creepier and danker that this version of Silent Hill 2 is, this really makes me excited at the prospect of what this team could do in charge of Silent Hill 4. Silent Hill 4, this is the one that I kind of wouldn't want it to be a direct shot-for-shot remake, because I think it needs a lot more work than that. But if they can capture the spirit and atmosphere of 4 and like really do it justice, like holy shit, like we could have like a version of 4 that actually lives up to its legacy. Because I genuinely really like a lot of 4, it's just there's no change in the fact it's also a very frustrating and repetitive game. But I still love it for what it is. And I think fucking Walter Sullivan is a very cool villain. Very interesting antagonist. The Key of Bliss. Ooh, how? Yeah, this looks very blissful, alright. Doesn't look like there's much else to check down here. Other than maybe in that top left corner there might be something, but that's about it. Really quickly check before we go. Oh no, this is where we fought the enemy. Okay, so yeah, we can go back up. Hey, hey dude, hope you're doing well. May have found I can work with on Fall Guys. We failed today, but we got close. Yeah, awesome. Best of luck on that. That's still the 5 wins trophy, right? I've mentioned it before, but I have like a firm, unless it's like something very basic that anyone can do and it doesn't matter, I'm dead against trophies like that. I know Fall Guys is like a predominantly online game anyway, but I feel like when you're making a game like that, all the trophies should be like things that you're gonna get anyway. Like getting your first victory, getting your 5th victory, not 5 in a row, just things that you're gonna get by just playing the game in time. Making them super strict and like super tough for an online fucking game is just brutal. Right, is the Key of Bliss what I fear? Is it for the... Yes, of course it fucking is. Ugh. The Lapis Eye Key. Is this the last thing we need for the box? Oh yeah, right now, shit. Fucking, I gotta remember how to get back there. Is it downstairs? Oh, my controller just started vibrating. That's a good sign. That's a really promising sign. It might just be the doors closing as I'm passing them by. That's what they're going to find that one single silver hope of opportunity. Yeah, fair. I'm just going to save again, speaking of opportunity. The opportunity to save is in front of me. Alright, and that's all 3 locks done. Alright, what are we gonna find in here? Times it crit the whole fair. I'm so perfect. Oh! Interesting. James like, now fuck, now what? In the original SH2, there was something in that box, so that's actually a nice change. Keep you guessing. But also in SH2, you opened the box first to then access the rest of the Otherworld hospital, whilst this, you have to do the whole hospital to open the box. So I guess it makes sense there'd be nothing in it in that sense, because it's the other way around. And what we need is instead here. The -1 elevator button? Okay, we can go into the basement. This looks like a door. Can we? She is an angel no one knows. Only I can see the lady of the door. They cannot walk along her bridge of thread. They fall from the weight of their crimes. Like bloated and ugly corpses, their sin she devours them. Sin and sinner alike she saves me. She is an angel. Lady of the door, and that's to get to the utility room. Speaking of psychopath, people have already figured out how to minimalize the amount of playthroughs you need to do in this game to get the platinum trophy. You don't need to do 6 playthroughs, even though there's 6 different endings. You just need to leave saves in very particular places to alter certain events, so you can make sure you get the ending you want. You still have to do 2 playthroughs, because 3 of the endings are New Game Plus exclusive, so you have to at least beat the game once to get access to them. But people have already figured it out. I don't know if I'll do that. They kept this fucking thing in. Oh my god. They kept the fucking quiz show in.
Where you answer our questions correctly and win a prize beyond
all right.
your wildest dreams. Or you fail to answer correctly and
This
receive
goofy ass fucking moment. I'm glad they kept this in because this is so fucking stupid in the original.
our lucky contestant, James Sunderland. James, are you ready to play trick or treat? Excellent. Here's your first question. In the early 1800s, a terrible disease spread across Silent Hill, resulting in the death of many of its inhabitants. Their bodies thrown into the lake to sleep forever in their watery grave. How many souls were lost during the plague? 1, 42, 2, 67, 3, 85. Know the answer? Well, you better hold on to it. You never know when it might come in handy. Now, on to the second question. Follow Sanders Street heading east and further on to the outskirts of town. One and only one road will take you towards the lumberyard and the cemetery. What is the name of that road? 1, Bachman Road. 2, Munson Street. 3, Wiltsea Road. Did you get that? I sure as hell hope so. And for a third and final question...
The fact that they stack the questions on you so you can't answer them now, so you just gotta fucking remember is evil.
sister were playing in the road when they were attacked and chopped into pieces.
I bet there's a trophy for getting all the questions right as well.
Flesh, smashed bones, splattered blood. What a terrible tragedy. What a gruesome end to such innocent lives. One of the victims was a local boy named Billy Locay. But what was the name of the other victim? Billy's sister. 1, Miriam. 2, Heather.
Nice reference.
3, Julia.
I think it's Julia.
Well,
I don't know why I called Heather Sherry all last stream, but yeah, the Silent Hill 3 protagonist is called Heather, not Sherry. I don't know why I called her Sherry all stream yesterday, but whatever.
the time will soon come to collect your prizes. But be careful. If you're wrong, well, Looks like that's all the time we have for today, folks.
Also, the lift hasn't stopped moving during all of this. The implication that we're going extremely deep underground in, like, hell.
Bye.
What the hell was that?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't even remember what the first fucking question was, let alone what the answer is. We're in trouble. I know the second question was like, what road connects these two locations? So that's just like, hey, did you pay attention to the map and like jot down the notes? And the third one was to a note we found, like a newspaper article we found ages ago. And I think that one, I want to say that one's Julia. Before we go that way, there is trouble over here we should probably try and clean out. Oh, it's a... Hey! And for guys who may go finale and tend to get both of those, I'm lucky. Code Dog Z. Oh, fair enough. My next plat is almost certainly going to be Hitman World of Assassination, which is a long time coming because my playtime in that game is already encroaching like 140 hours, but I'm pretty close. I've only got 5 levels left, and I just need to like do a couple things within those levels and then get level mastery on them. And to be fair, I could have been done a lot quicker, but they include Act 1 and Act 2 as free DLC. Because World of Assassination was basically released as 3 games. Ow. Several years apart. Because Act 1 was 2016, Act 2 was 2019, Act 3 was 2022. But in Act 3, that's the one that they then made it so you could get all of like the first 2 games included to make it one full package, World of Assassination. But World of Assassination's Platinum Trophy list only includes Hitman 3 stuff. Hitman 1 and 2, they put that as DLC trophies, but because, you know, I wanted to do the whole game from start to finish, I did those first, which is why it took me so long. Because I also did level mastery in all of them as well. So basically doing 3 whole games worth of content. Yeah, that takes a while. Pump up chair, roots in the ground. Recliners. Oh, fair enough. As I've said before, if I ever rearrange my desk, which I do want to do eventually, maybe sometime next year, I plan to get a standing desk and like a standing mat sort of thing, and just stream standing because it's just better for your health. I'll still have my chair, so like if we're doing like longer streams for whatever reason, when my feeties start getting tired, I can sit the fuck down. But still, so ew. But even though I'm not in my 30s and at far less risk of it, I'm super paranoid about getting blood clots. And so I want to like make a habit of trying to be on my feet more. I know it's something that's more of a concern, like I said, when you get into your 30s, like sitting too long can make it so your blood doesn't flow as properly, which can potentially lead to blood clots, which kills indiscriminately. Which is why I'm kind of paranoid about it, but I'm an old man now, declined a chair. My guy, you're in your mid-30s, you're not old. It was actually, speaking of, like, streaming and whatnot, it was actually, I know I always bring him up, Ray. He streams standing. He's 35, he streams standing. He only sits down if it's like an 8-hour fucking stream. And even then, he'll stand for like the first couple. He'll just sit down eventually. But it's the same thing with him. He got paranoid about blood clots, so he got a standing desk arrangement, and then just got a standing mat. 50 on the inside. Yeah, well, that doesn't change the fact that you should be taking. If anything, the more like old and rigid you feel, the more you should be making a push to try and improve your health. Or try and maintain what's left of your health in some instances. Ow, you bitch! Actually, I will top up my healing just to be safe. It's not like I've got, like, 9 more fucking heals in this game. I think that's, like, one of the actual, like, genuine complaints. At least on normal difficulty, I don't know if hard changes it. I feel like this game's too generous with healing, so, like, a lot of the threats in the game don't feel so threatening. The only reason why I'm always so wary of it is because I know how much you do or don't look after James can affect your ending. And I'm trying to go for a specific ending. So I have to be more wary of it. Hey, get back here. Catch well, there's no time like the present. You know that. When it comes to trying to improve your health. Well, they say you peak in your 20s physical, everything afterwards is about maintaining. Well, start maintaining. I'm 25, and I know I'm not at the peak fitness I should be for a 25-year-old. That's why I'm trying to be better about it, whilst I'm still, like, capable of getting away with it. Because I want to be, you know, I want to still be doing this shit, like, when I'm old. Like, when I'm old. I want to still be streaming when, like, when I'm Grandpa, we love you. Age. Just preferably with a wife at that point. That'd be nice. I don't want to still be like 60. Like, it's like, oh yes, let's play this game. Let's go play Final Fantasy 28. And I'm just alone in some flat in the middle of fucking nowhere. Probably somewhere in Canada. Then where's the point of it? Is this just a long linear stretch? I think it is. I keep on looking for like things for a puzzle, but I think we've done the main puzzle, and this is more of just like a linear stretch. She'll probably be the wife. Shit, that'd be nice. Copper ring. Okay, is that for... Oh, hey.
James.
Mary. Oh.
Maria. Oh, James. Oh, no, you made that mistake again.
Anyway, I'm glad you're alive.
Anyway? What do you mean, anyway? I was almost killed back there. I have never been so scared in my whole life. All you care about is that dead wife of yours. You couldn't care less about me, could you?
No, I just...
Then stay with me. Don't leave me alone again. You're supposed to take care of me.
That's another scene where I slightly prefer the performance of the original. Because in the original, Maria gets right up in James's face and goes, anyway! What do you mean, anyway?
You found her?
Yeah, but she ran away.
What? Well, we have to find her.
Yeah, you really seem to care about that girl. Do you know her?
I'd never met her before. I just feel sorry for her. She's all alone and... I don't know, for some reason I feel like it's up to me to protect her. Come on, let's go look for her.
Where did you even come from, Maria? What's down here? Once again, I'm trying to avoid getting the Maria ending, so I'm going to kind of push on a little bit. Oh, I guess we're not going that way. Oh, hey, fuck, another syringe. Another free full heal.
What the hell is that?
It's rain.
What do you know? A stroll in the rain.
Maria. What are you talking about?
What the
Keep things light.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, the swimming pool's a fucking void. Cool. Can you, like, hang on, I want to track something. Can you bump her? Oh, no, you can't. In the original Silent Hill 2, you could bump her, and every single time you bumped into her, it, like, gave you a negative point towards her ending. Like, if so you bumped into her, she'd get more annoyed at you. Yeah, what is water? It honestly, because I've had Silent Hill 4 on my mind, it reminds me of that one fucking room in Silent Hill 4 where you can see the ceiling and it's raining, and it's not like, you know, that the game, like, they forgot or something. No, it's deliberate. It's you're supposed to go in and go, what the fuck? Why is it raining? It reminds me of that room for some reason. I don't know why that's the first room that comes to mind, not the giant Eileen room, but fucking that room. If you know, you know. Oh, this is... You know I was talking last stream about how the game takes every opportunity it can to ridicule his masculinity? James can't open this on his own, so the girl has to help him.
Me? You're supposed to be the big man around here. How's a little girl like me supposed to help? Fine.
Oh, God.
What's this? Not very cute, is it? Here, why don't you take it?
Thanks.
I'm not vibing with that aspect. You're not supposed to. If it's making you unhappy and if you're not liking it, then it's fucking working.
I think I know where there's rain.
If it makes you unhappy, then it's working. It's doing what it's intended to do. It's supposed to make you not like it because the more you're not liking it, the more it's probably getting to you that it's downplaying your own masculinity. The patients will become the diagnosis schedule for them when they'll make a recovery, as my aim is always for the entire personnel, especially when their symptoms will become receding with effective treatment. But yeah, it's about Silent Hill 4 The Room. I've really had that game on my mind recently, especially now playing this. I'm like, man, I know I've already mentioned it once this stream. I really want them to kind of do something with 4. I don't want them to jump to 4 or some shit, because that thing's like, come on, like, do 1 and 3, please. It was already a little annoying that you jumped straight to 2, when I think 1 would have been more interesting to remake. I think/hope I can just take the lift back up now. Is the issue. I mean, James is a man with 1,000,001 problems. The whole masculinity angle is to take away the only thing that he could have had going for him. Is to make sure that he has literally nothing at all times. He's never allowed to have anything. Where the fuck is that paint portrait? Is it on floor 1 or 2? I've already forgotten. Or 2. He's consistently literally not allowed to have anything going for him.
What is that? James?
What's wrong?
Let's just get out of here, okay?
Oh, you have to put both rings on it. Okay, that makes sense. In that judgment, I'm new here. You'll learn as we go. There's actually a very, 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 very fucking justified reason for why he's getting put through what he's being put through, but that's literally the big plot twist of the game.
Something doesn't feel right.
And there's actually a lot of hints. I mean, I know what the I found it easier to spot those hints because I know what the twist is. But there's already been several hints, even in this remake, that are alluding to why James deserves this. Because to be blunt, he kind of does. When you know what's going on, there's a little degree of empathy you can have towards him and understanding. But as a whole, you kind of understand why he's going through this, and why he's being put through this. But like I said, that's not till later. We're actually... When we get that twist, we'll legit probably be finishing the game that same stream, because there'll only be like an hour or two left. It is done. Sick no more. Oh, there's another save point, right? Well, we just saved. We'll just carry on. MPV is not endorsement. I mean, yeah, I've always... Without explaining what it is for those who don't know, I've always been on the side of I empathize with why he did it, but I still think it was wrong. But I understand I'm no expert on the topic because it's a very sensitive topic that they talk about and why he does what he does. Don't you get chased down this corridor in the original SH6? Okay, no, there it is. I was going to say, I'm sure you get chased down this corridor. This looks really familiar to me from OG SH2. Oh yeah, fucking pyramid heads here. Book it. Oh, she runs ahead of you in this version, huh? In original SH2, she's behind you, and it's because it plays into your ending. If you like literally just run ahead and abandon her, it gives you a lot of points against her. Whilst if you wait for her or try and help her, it works in your favor.
An elevator!
How did we end up ahead of her, though? In the cutscene. Hang on, what? Could I have got ahead of her?
Come on, hurry!
I'm sure there's a way to get in front of her. Anyway, pyramid head's coming. Oh, we're not too far off from actually... Also, yeah, goodbye, Maria. From learning what the pyramid heads actually are. But the pyramid heads are a very significant thing within Silent Hill that are reflective of James as well. Also, I actually kind of like the change they made here. In the original Silent Hill 2, you don't see her face. She reaches her arm out, and then you see her arm, like, suddenly jolt, and then she gets pulled back through. Actually getting to see her face turn stone cold, like, just kind of added to the feel. Also, the trophy I just got was called Alone Again. I kind of preferred seeing the... I mean, like, the hand is more, like, subtle, I guess. But I kind of just like seeing the stone cold effect of her face. But we managed to survive our second encounter with the Pyramid Head. How am I doing on bullets? Oh, the contrast. I have 51 bullets, a pistol, I have 4 shotguns. I don't think there's anything else for us here. I think it is just time for us to leave. Okay, never mind. We need to find the key. And to be fair, when you find out what the Pyramid's heads are, it's probably the biggest fucking hint in the game that James probably deserves what's going on. The potential of this illness exists in all people, and under the right circumstances, any man or woman would be driven, like him, to the other side. The other side perhaps may not be the best way to phrase it. After all, there is no wall between here and there. It lies on the borders where reality and unreality intersect. It is a place both close and distant. Some say it isn't even an illness. I cannot agree with them. I am a doctor, not a philosopher or even a psychiatrist, unlike the director. But sometimes I have to ask myself this question. It's true that to us, his imaginings are nothing but the inventions of a busy mind. But to him, there simply is no other reality. Furthermore, he is happy there. So why, I ask myself, why is the name of healing him must we drag him painfully into the world of our own reality? This is a doctor before all the shit kicked off. So this is just a psych ward doctor saying, hey, we had a psycho guy who was in his own realm. Oh, there she goes. Running like a little goober. I guess we just follow the light. See if there's anything is hidden. Is there anything in this car? Yeah, it's difficult to see in the dark. That's a seatbelt. I saw something red. I was like, no, that's a seatbelt. Ah. Oh, you're the knife one. We can fight you. Yeah, is it the knife variant? Even though they're supposed to be harder, I actually find them more consistent to fight, so that's why I can save ammo against them. It's the ones with the iron pipes where I just get hit all the fucking time. There is another enemy nearby, I can hear it. Oh, it's a bug. Ah! You bitch! That was rude. There's a bug here as well. Where? Hey! Hey, you bitch! But yeah, because I keep on going off topic from it. Silent Hill 4. I'd love a remake of Silent Hill 4. Because Silent Hill 4 is probably the most awkward and frustrating of the games to play, because it was very much rushed and had no budget. Because unfortunately, after Silent Hill 2 came out, for those who don't know, Silent Hill 3 and 4 were put into development at the same time. Because Konami were already kind of like, look, just release Silent Hill games, what do we care, sort of thing. Oh, there's two of you fucks in here, okay. And unfortunately, it's very clear in retrospect which one got the majority of the attention, and that was 3. But 4 is super fucking interesting in a lot of ways, and I genuinely like it for a lot of reasons. But it is also a very frustrating game in how it's designed, because you can tell it got the shorter end of the stick in its development time. Why? Because Konami were Konami. They put Team Silent in charge of 2 games that had to be developed simultaneously, because I think it was because they wanted them to release more regularly. But for some reason, instead of thinking, hey, why don't we just let the team make quality games, they put them through it. And both 3 and 4 suffered in different ways, but 4 absolutely suffered way worse. Which is a shame, because 4 genuinely has some really good ideas, and has, in my opinion, outside of like this game has the best character writing, 4 has the best story, I think is the best way to put it. I think 4's story is very interesting, and if you've played like the first 3 Silent Hills, there's a bunch of different dot connecting moments to make you realize how connected they were slowly but surely setting up Silent Hill. Even though not all of them, you know, are direct sequels of each other or follow the same like blueprints, yada yada, they're all connected, hence Silent Hill, other than just returning to Silent Hill. And that was cool. You know, in this game, Laura and Mary's nurse, when they got to know each other, was called Rachel. In Silent Hill 4, you meet Rachel. In this game and Silent Hill 3, you can find newspaper articles around a... Oh, I had his name earlier, it's left me. You can find newspaper articles of a character, and that character is straight up the main villain of Silent Hill 4. So a better narrative story. Yeah, that's the right way to put it. Like, it's a better narrative piece and a better story in what it's doing, whilst this is better on character focus and character writing and character-driven story. But I said, but 4, unfortunately, like I said, suffered the like having no budget. So the easiest giveaway of what I mean is that the entire second half of Silent Hill 4 is literally the first half again, but now being able to unlock all the rooms you couldn't unlock. You literally go through all 4 of the key areas again in the same order, but now, like, there's more enemies, and there's like a 1 or 2 locked doors you can now access to get more lore, you know, shit like that. Like, it's blatant padding. Which is a shame, because like I said, the story is genuinely really good. And I also think, like, I kind of downplayed it a little last stream, but the more I thought on it, the more I felt like I should really elaborate on it. Silent Hill 4 technically only has 2 endings, and what decides that ending is whether or not you let Eileen, like basically the girl you're protecting for most of the second half of the game, die during the final boss or not. Because during the final boss, she's being possessed slightly to be forced to walk forward towards basically a biblically accurate angel-looking meat grinder. And if she reaches the meat grinder, you don't game over, the game just carries on, but you just get the bad ending. Because she does, you know, fucking die. But I kind of just downplayed it as like, well, that's the only thing. And it's like, technically, yeah, that is. But the more I thought on it, it's like, no, I probably should talk about it more, because it is a little bit, I can see you, it is a little bit more interesting than how I played it. Because essentially, in the whole second half of the game, Eileen can't really die. She's with you, so enemies can attack her, but she can't really die. Like, she'll just get hurt, and then she'll get up and carry on. However, every time she gets hit, she gets ever so slightly more cursed. And it will affect how she responds, it will affect how she is in cutscenes. Eventually, she'll start twitching and start talking gibberish. Like, it gets really fucking creepy if you let her get really possessed. The more, like, cursed and possessed she is, the faster she walks during that final boss. So if she's, like, if you've let her, like, take the fall and take the hit, like, all of the second half of the game, it's basically impossible to get the good ending, because she will move too fast, you won't be able to kill the final boss quick enough. Whilst if you look after her, if you can keep her in, like, clean health all the way through, you get to the final boss, you could fucking have a weekend over in, like, like in Florida if you want, and come back and she still wouldn't have made it to the fucking meat grinder. Walter Sullivan, I knew his name would come back to me. That's the name of the main villain. He's mentioned... Actually, I could probably find the newspaper because we already picked it up. I know we picked it up. I'm just trying to think where it is. And I think Walter Sullivan is one of the best villains. Oh, we picked up so many fucking notes in this hospital, Jesus. I know we picked up at least something. Maybe it was a newspaper article. Ah, well. that mentioned him, but Walter Sullivan I genuinely think is a phenomenal villain. He's one of the most interesting things about Silent Hill 4, and in my opinion one of the most interesting things about the franchise. And I think they did a good job subtly building him up by just showing up in like newspaper articles in older games and shit, alluding to him being a bit dotty, and then you learn more about him in 4, learn what all the numbers mean, Mason, and start figuring him out. It's genuinely really well done.
Stop! It's dangerous!
That's very fair. I know, in Silent Hill, Eileen is best girl from Silent Hill 4, but also she's best girl that they then say, hey, protect for half the game, bitch, so... And to be fair, it's a better escort mission than Ashley from RE4, I feel. Because, you know, you can actually give her weapons and shit and she can defend herself. Just make sure you actually do look after her. I guess I can talk about it since I don't think I'm going to get to cover Silent Hill 4 anytime soon. In SH4, the reason why it's called The Room is its subtitle is because in reality, Henry Townstead, the main character, is literally locked in his apartment room. And I don't just mean locked, I mean it's like in a capsule of time. It doesn't matter how much noise he makes, no one outside can hear him. It doesn't matter how much he bangs on the door, that door does not vibrate to everyone outside. It doesn't matter how much he tries to break the windows, they will never budge. He is completely trapped in like this completely isolated space. Oh, hey. Isolated space. In that room. He is trapped in Silent Hill 4, The Room. However, every time there's a hole in his bathroom that has the seal of Metatron, which is tied to trying to birth God in Silent Hill 1 and 3, the seal. And every time you go to it, you enter a dream realm where you then get to explore various areas, usually neighboring Silent Hill. But every single time you go to it, you go to a different area, and there's a different side character. Like in the first area, you meet a lady called Claudia. Later on, there's a detective who's really onto you and super aggressive and even points a gun at a fucking 6-year-old, but we'll get to, like, one thing at a time. And, you basically do a story where you explore the area whilst getting to know them. However, in every single... Oh, it's another fucking... Well, they're hiding everywhere. In every single instance, they die at the end of that episode. They are always killed. You can't save them. And every time they're killed, a number appears on them. When you, like, when it's Claudia, for example, it's 16121. And before you say, how the fuck do I know that? It's because it's tied to the actual main story. I know that offhand. After the second target, it's 17121. And then by the time you get to near the end of the game, you realize Eileen is the next one that's going to be targeted for it. And although she narrowly survives, she does get 20121 slashed into her back anyway, and she very, very narrowly survives, only being saved by a literal child who blocked off the killer. And the numbers is actually a countdown, or a count up. The one in the middle isn't a 1, it's a slash. And so it's 17 out of 21, 18 out of 21. Eileen is the 20th of 21. Henry Townstead is going to be the 21st of 21. Because Walter Sullivan believes, because his parents abandoned him at newborn, and he was picked up by a cult, and so the cults just do what cults do when they have a newborn, and just raise him to be a martyr. They raised him to believe if he can sacrifice 21 people to their religion, he would get to see his mother again. And so as he grew up, he started plotting and killing, and so he believes after the 21st murder, he will get to see his mother again. And the thing is, if you get the worst ending in the game, where Henry dies as well, and so it completes the 21 sacrifices, you get to see what happens when he gets it, and he gets nothing, and he realizes only in that moment that he was just manipulated by the cult, the main villain. It's only in the worst ending you see that manipulation fall through, and that he was never going to get what he wanted. It was never a real thing. He was just being set up as a backup plan to summon God if Dahlia Hawthorne's plan in Silent Hill 1 fell through. But it's genuinely really tragic because, like I said, once, as you go on, you learn that he's literally only doing all of this because of his belief that he will get to see his mother, and it being like built into him through his cults his entire life. He knows nothing else. These nurses do a lot of damage when they hit you. You have to be very careful of them. But equally, he killed... If you get the best ending, 19 people. You get the worst ending, 21 people. Well, actually, no, I tell a lie. -1, because one of the 21 sacrifices was himself. He was actually the 11th sacrifice, and it's actually, like, his demon spirit that's killing all the rest. Which is why there's 2 Walters. And it's also why Walter completely leaves you alone when you bump into him at several points in the game. Because he's designated you as the 21st sacrifice. But because you're 21st, until he kills the other 20, you're not a target. So you can even, like, sit down next to him on, like, a staircase and talk to him, and he'll give you, like, a doll. Like a childhood doll that he was given. Like, he will just, like, have a casual conversation with you. You can't attack him. But it's just like one of those things where it's just like, man, I really wish this game got to like be fully realized. Because there's so many cool things about it. And I think the worst part is that after Silent Hill 4, Team Silent, the team that made those games, were already like doing the pre-planning and work to make Silent Hill 5. But that was around the time that Konami took interest in making Silent Hill their third-party franchise throw around, and so dissembled Team Silent and started handing around the franchise to basically any team that wanted to give it a shot, which is why every single game after Silent Hill 4 has been kind of not good, because every single game was handed to a different fucking team. And so there was no consistency, no ability to get more of an idea of the series, etc., etc. I mean, it's kind of what they're doing now, technically. Because, you know, Bloober Team made this. They've got a different team working on Silent Hill F. Silent Hill Short Message was made by another team, even though that game I had negative interest in. Because it's like a free, almost like tech demo game. But this one at least had members of Team Silent involved in it, which is why it's, at least in my opinion, I think had something to do with why it ended up turning out a lot better. I know there's an enemy in here. I'm hoping it's just the bug. It's never just the bug. Oh, there's actually a few enemies in here, huh? And I also want Silent Hill 4 to just be available to more people, because that game, for how dorky and goofy it is, because one of the bigger things that give away that it's low budget is that the game is littered to the brim like a plague with stock sound effects. Like, its audio design is unfortunately really bad because they just didn't have the money to record their own, so they use a lot of stock sound effects, like, all the fucking time. You will hear every single scream that you've heard in every film ever. You will hear the exact same Jaguar call. Ow, fuck. Every time you kill the weird dog enemies. You know, things like that. Like, you will hear the same, like burp sound effect every time you fight one of these big tall enemies later on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you will hear a lot of the same sound effects constantly because of the lack of budget. But when, like, you're not dealing with, like, unfortunately non-deliberate goofy as shit moments, the game has some of the most terrifying fucking things in it I've ever experienced in the horror medium. And I mean that wholeheartedly. Some parts of Silent Hill 4 are fucking terrifying. And not because of jump scares, but because they will put something in front of you quite casually and quite calmly on your path, and then in the back of your mind you realize you've got to deal with this. Like, they don't jump scare it with you, they don't slam it in your face. You see it way off in the distance and you go, I have to fucking deal with that, and it's the most terrifying fucking thing you've ever seen. The fucking twin victims, whoever designed that, I hope they have a special place in hell, because that thing still gives me nightmares. The twin victims, that enemy is pure evil. hey, let's just make an enemy that's two baby heads shrouded in a cloak with giant hands, and when it sees you, it fucking points at you before it starts sprinting at you at like the rate of nods. Yeah, that sounds fun. Cool. I'm so glad that's an enemy. It's actually just two, like, baby head masks with a giant black cloth and then two big hands coming out the bottom of the cloth. And every time it sees you, it will fucking point at you and then start sprinting at you with those hands, like full on charging at you at like Mach 10. And there's nothing scarier, without needing a jump scare, than not spotting one, but it's spotting you because of how fast they are. And it's like you're down the corridor, you turn a left, and you just see fucking the devil sprinting at you. Sprinting at you like fucking Nemesis. And you're just like, ah! Like, it's so fucking terrifying. Or the giant Eileen head that I mentioned earlier. There's a corridor, and it's a very, like, crazily cool corridor, and it makes me upset that, like, they couldn't space it out throughout the game one way or another, and they just put it on this corridor, where basically it's a very tight corridor with 10 doors on each side. Every single door has the exact same room, with one exception being one has a key in it, and another exception that the one's locked because it requires the key. However, every single room, despite the base room being the same, has something different going on in it. And you don't have to go into any of these rooms. If you know which room has the key, you can skip all of them. But the fact that they just made this thing with exactly 20 rooms, and yet every single one of them has something different about them that's unsettling in a different way, with the most abstract one being the giant Eileen head, that room is like this... I don't know what the fuck was going on in their heads when they made that room. But like there's one where you go into a room where the mattress has like a bump in the middle of it, around about where a belly would be if someone is laying on it, and the bump is supposed to represent, you know, someone being pregnant, but it's filled to the brim with like 20 needles. The very next room has a bunch of like extremely elongated tentacly like fungi spore things coming from the exact same spot, and it's reflective of one of the subjects that was captured and like tested upon within the facility. And that's just like two of the rooms that I've just talked about, of like all 20 of them. There's one of them where like it's a giant, completely still as a statue, like 10-foot tall head of Eileen, like the main girl. Like it's just completely stoic, stone cold, covered in blood. It's very pale, like it's dead. Yet both the eyes fixate on you, but never stop twitching. And you just walk into the room, spin the camera around, and see that fucking thing glaring at you. And you're just like, oh, I'm leaving. You know? There's the room where it just rains in it. Like, there's nothing particular about it, but for some reason it's just constantly raining. And then the actual, room, it's a statue of a snake, and like the room that you need the key from, it's a statue of a snake, and the key is tied to its mouth, and the moment you pick it up, it drops a birdcage on you. And to get out the birdcage, you have to use the key you just picked up, and I think everyone who ever played that game got stuck and then felt like an idiot because the cage drops on you, and you're like, oh wait, how do I get out of this? Because you don't think the key you literally just picked up will unlock the cage that just trapped you. Because you just picked it up. You're like, this key's clearly for something else. Why would I use it here? So you just don't think it would be that bluntly simple, and so you end up getting stuck in it for a second. Until eventually you just click on the lock and go, oh, it's just... oh, fuck. Where the hell even am I, by the way? We're just kind of strolling along. I know where we kind of have to end up, but we need to find... Like dinos. We have to find our kid first. We have to find Laura. And the thing is like when they're not using stock sound effects, Silent Hill 4 also has some pretty good fucking sound design too. Let's go as if a knife like a wet noodle. Yeah, I mean I never finished it. I enjoyed it. I got about as far as like the the tower where like it's all white, and the reason why I stopped is because it was during a time where I was mostly playing it in the evenings, and I found it very straining on the eye. So I was like, oh, I'll just make some time during the day to play it, so it won't be as intense on the eyes. And I just never got around to finding that time. I say that I stream entirely in the mornings, so I have the time now. But you know what I mean. By the time I had the time, I wasn't fussed about going back to it straight away. So it's such a funny thing to stop me from wanting to carry on playing it, but that's legit what happened. The bright white, well, the cum dungeon I called it, was too bright for me on my eyes, and it was giving me too much of a strain when I was playing it late in the evenings. We have more syringes than we do normal potions. The Salvation Tower, yeah, that one. And you feel I had really good builds. Like, I'd built up the cast to all be pretty consistent and effective at what they were doing.
Laura, please, wait!
And, like, and whatnot. Like, I was in a good mojo to kind of relatively smoothly beat the game, because I'd done all the grind work and whatnot. But it was just too much. Some TS. Oh, this is like advanced darkness. Cool. Oh, is this? Oh, I know what this is. Where'd you go? Oh, I don't know if you guys got to see it because it was in the corner of the darkness. There's a monster that was walking across the ceiling of these grates, and it's a unique monster that we haven't seen yet. I thought this was somewhere else. I mean, it might have been somewhere else. SH2 has changed a couple things here and there to keep you guessing, this remake.
Laura? Where did she go?
It's a save here, cool. He is not bold enough to be stared at from across the abyss, is not bold enough to stare into it himself. The truth can only be learned by marching forward. Follow the map. There's a letter and a wrench. Is the zapping? Oh, yeah, I can see that. If you like, or like, at least like a good, like, maze-like dungeon, it's another reason just for me to say, man, I really hope Strange Journey. Because Strange Journey is, like, similar to that all first-person dungeon crawling. I mean, SMT 1, 2, and Strange Journey are all first-person dungeon crawling. But Strange Journey does the dungeon crawling the best. SMT1 is pretty alright. It's just in the later half of the game, some of the dungeons get a little crazy. And SH2, fucking SMT2, sorry, is... Let's get snappy, yeah, fair. Pretty good as well. It's just there's a couple riddles you have to solve that require you to backtrack, and once you solve them and finally get access to like the final real dungeon of the game, the final dungeon is gargantuan. Like the final dungeon alone makes up like the last whole fifth of the game. You're like, oh god. Anyway, we have our objective. Also, we're back on this half of the map. Letter and wrench. Come here, you bitch. Ah. I know I've got a lot of bullets. Let's just fucking put her down. Ow, bitch. Little Mermaid. Oh, I love Little Mermaid. But I love Little Mermaid's character. Ow, you fuck! All the fucking time, you piece of shit mannequin. They hide mannequins everywhere in this fucking remake. They hide them everywhere. But I love Little Mermaid's story with I always forget her name, her wife, that she always calls her prince. Because that's the reason why I forget the name, because I just refer to them as prince and princess a lot, because that's what they refer to each other, which is still the cutest fucking thing. I want to say Otsu, but I feel like I'm wrong. Oh, it is Otsu or Otsu. Oh, there's a lot of fucking nurses. Let's just clean house. And I can get away with saying wife. It's not like me waifuing thing. No, they got married. They got married in Mary Skeleton 2. But they kind of got married twice because of bullshit getting in the way of the first one. I always say Otsu. But yeah, it probably is just Sue. Which makes sense because Sue sounds like, you know, well, Sue. Are you on your own? Okay, I'm beating you to death. I can almost guarantee, though, because they do call it Otsu in dub, it's a pronunciation. Otsu, the sound of it isn't easy to pronounce if you're used to Japanese dialect. In the same way that, like, Neptune, the reason why they give her nicknames all the time is because Neptune is actually extremely difficult to say if you're Japanese, if you're used to Japanese dialect. It doesn't flow off the tongue naturally. I imagine it's very similar